Welcome everyone, I'm Sherry and this is Goodknits, my knitting channel on YouTube. Today is going to be vlog number 3 on my MELIDES dress by Goodknits, and this is a knitted dress that I'm making for spring summer, and I've been working on it for the last few weeks. I have 2 previous vlog episodes, one on kind of getting set up and doing my measurements, and the second on knitting the lower bodice, so make sure you go back and check those out. This one is going to be about completing the top before I move on to the skirt. I also just want to throw in here that if you want to be notified of future vlog updates on this dress, please go ahead and subscribe. Also comment on the video if you have any suggestions for how I can make these videos better and more helpful for you in case I'm missing any content that you would find really relevant if you're making a decision on knitting this dress for yourself. I will say the kind of third part of this, doing the upper body, has been going a lot better than the first couple sections, so this dress is really moving along really quickly. I haven't been dedicating all my time to it, so I could have probably knitted it a lot faster. But yeah, so far so good. I think I'm actually really on track to have this dress before the end of May for my upcoming trip to Sicily. I'm getting ready to start on the top left front, which is shaping the V-neck and the underarm or the armhole. And this is currently my markup, which it sounds a little bit like a puzzle, and we were actually talking about this in our group chat this morning because a few people have already done this section or are currently working on it. And I know everybody has like a lot of scribbles on their paper and have really also been having to reference the calculator a lot. So I think for all of us, we have slight modifications based on our row gauge, which adds further confusion to this whole thing. So it sounds like you need to work decreases for the armhole as well as decreases for the V-neck, but at slightly different intervals over different periods of time. And so like this whole section here is really referencing how you do that. Which I think I was hoping to start on this today, but I think I need to actually read this a few times and kind of come up with a game plan, because I can put in a lifeline and start it and see how it goes, but I am a little bit worried that I'm not going to understand this. Math is sometimes not my strong suit, and this feels like a lot of math right now, so I just really need to process it, probably read it 10 times, and then come back to it and see if I have a clear path forward. So stay tuned on that. Okay, I have mapped out my counts. I've read the pattern multiple times. I think I'm ready to start on my V-neck. And I'm just going to quickly show you how I ended up mapping this out, and I will walk you through that. Okay, so what I did here is the part highlighted in full pink means that I am doing decreases on the armhole and V-neck at the same time. And then once that's done, I need to switch to decreases on the V-neck and then also decreases for the upper armhole, but then that will vary depending on the rate of decreases. So there's some rows where I'm doing both. Those are highlighted in pink and green. And then there's ones where I'm just doing the V-neck, and those are pink. So pink is V-neck, green is armhole, and that's how I'm going to try to track it and just cross this off. And I know that others in the group chat did something very similar to keep track of this. So we'll see how it goes. I feel like I'm having the worst luck with knitting lately. I just realized that I read the end of page 14 incorrectly and have been working on the right side of the v-neck and not the left. And I was wondering why it was like, don't cut the yarn at the end. And then as I was knitting, because I was just getting through the first section, thankfully I haven't gotten that far. But yeah, I was wondering why I didn't need to cut the yarn. And now I know, because I was reading things sidewise as if I was on the right side, but I was starting this next row from the wrong side. So thankfully it was only 9 rows. So now I just need to rip back. But yeah, I guess that's sort of my first main issue within this new v-neck section. News, it's fine. The other side is completely mirrored and the decreases at the start and end of the row are exactly the same for the first 8 decreases. So I'm just going to put those stitches on hold, come back to them, and work the other side for now. So I think I'm okay. So it's a few days later from when I last recorded, but I just wanted to give an update from the left side decreases that I got through the first section. I ended up with 1 stitch too many. I'm not sure how that happened. I actually think I ended up adding a stitch somehow. So on this next section, I'm going to need to decrease by an extra stitch on the next round. I'll probably do that under the armhole so that it looks a bit cleaner. And I'm hoping today, it's Saturday, April 5th, I believe. I am hoping to actually, or April 6th, and I am hoping to actually finish the left side, maybe even get some really good progress on the right side, and then the top is nearly done. Also exciting news, I got an iPad stylus, or exciting news for me. I got an iPad stylus yesterday, and I have since transferred my handwritten notes over to that, so that's how I'm going to keep track, and I will show you. So this is now my newly transferred over notes, and I am very excited to now be working on my iPad. One side of the v-neck, done. So we're a quarter of the way there for the top, but it went really quickly. I mean, I think I've been sitting here for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and I've done 40, 50 something rows. So I'm gonna measure now and see if my pre-block size is okay. I did make one tiny little mistake. I had said I had an extra stitch and then I decreased one. I ended up having to do it on the v-neck side because that's where the extra stitch was. And what happened is I accidentally did a knit 3 together instead of a slip knit. So there is like a tiny bit of a gap in the fabric, but I don't think it's anything anybody's gonna notice. I know that my sleeve straps are going to be a little bit too short right now, but I'm not exactly sure how long I'm gonna need them. So I've decided to just put them on hold and come back to them once all the straps are done and then see how much length I'm gonna need to add to these or the back ones. So everything I just filmed apparently wasn't captured, but I was trying to talk about having all these different try-on tubings going and how my yarn keeps tangling, which doesn't look as dramatic now because while I was filming that last bit, I untangled it. But yeah, having lots of different hanging bits along with the ball of yarn and a few lifelines is making it a little bit challenging to work with this piece right now, but it's okay as long as I keep stopping and adjusting things. I have put this on hold the last few days, mostly because I didn't feel like filming, and I have been working on my Fancy Pepitas skirt test knit, and honestly, I was just really engaged in the color work on that, which I wasn't expecting, and I just got into such a groove that I wanted to finish it. So I finished the first panel this weekend, so that was like 3 days worth of work, and it's now Sunday evening and I am ready to get back onto the dress. The square v-neck, the square neckline straps only require 12 decreases, which means it's not really going to take me that long. It's about 36 rows. So I think it's probably pretty realistic that I will finish both straps tonight. We'll see if I start to feel like my brain is shutting down after all that color work today, then I might put this aside and finish it tomorrow. But I'm really just kind of anxious to get onto the skirt part because I am really aiming to have this ready for the end of May. We leave for Sicily May 25th. So I have just over a month to finish this up. And based on how quickly it's moving, I think that's probably pretty realistic if I just dedicate some proper time to it. So I'm ready to get the top done so I can move on. And yeah, that's where I'm at. I did it. I finished the top part of the MELIDES dress last night as planned. So I'm just gonna quickly share that, and then I want to measure. And today I really wanna try on as best as I can with the straps not being grafted yet, just to make sure that I'm happy with the fit before I move on to the skirt. And then I think that will basically be the end of this part of the video. So yeah, let's take a look at where I got to. Okay, it doesn't look like much yet because as you can see, there's lots of threads and try-on tubing coming out of it. But this is it flat, so you can see all the dart stitches, and then you have your V-neck, and then the square neck portion. So really happy with it so far. I think once I start on the skirt, I can finally take out some of these lifelines. And I think with the try-on tubing, I will probably cut a few in half so they'll be a little bit less short or a little bit less long because they're really getting in the way right now when I'm trying to work. So yeah, that's not ideal, and they do have to stay on until the end. I can tell already the straps I think are gonna be too short, but I'll know for sure once I measure and try on. So let's go ahead and measure. So I have my schematic here to measure against. And for my size right now, the shoulder top to bust point should be 25.8. It's around 23 right now, so I think I need to add roughly 2 to 3 more centimeters to the straps. I'll know that once I try on. And then bust point to waist is, let's see, pretty much bang on 13.1. I think it's close enough, and if not, I can add more length in the skirt. So bodice total 38.9. Right now it's roughly 35, 36. So measurement wise, it looks like I'm pretty close. I just need to add a few centimeters to the straps, and yeah, we are on track. And this is what it looks like actually folded up. So we are starting to look like a dress, a little bit. Still have a ways to go, but I'm feeling really good about where it's at. Okay, time for the first official try on, which I have just tied these straps here, and you can definitely see I have 2 to 3 centimeters on each side that I really need to add. And yeah, this is definitely too short right now this way. And I am a little bit worried about the width. Which right now, this cast on edge is not letting me fully slide the stitches. And obviously this is going to even out with blocking. And I'm wearing a tank top instead of just a bra, so not ideal. But yeah, bust-wise, it's feeling a little worrisome. So I hope it will be okay. And then that's the square neckline, which I don't know if I can really try it on that way. So I guess if I add a bit more length in the straps, it will be here, which you can see it's also like stretching out quite a bit. I'm really glad that I didn't go with a bigger needle size, because I think this fabric would have been like completely see-through. But again, I'm wearing a white tank top and that's not gonna help anything. So I hope it's okay. This try-on is scaring me a tad, but the top is done. So I guess that's a win, and that is basically it for this vlog. Well, that is a wrap on part 3 of this vlog. Next up will be the skirt, and we'll see if that kind of gets broken into a couple parts. I think it'll depend on the process and how that's going, but hopefully things remain as smooth as they've been going. I still need to make a decision if I'm going to knit the skirt round or flat, but I'll see once I get there. So don't forget to subscribe so that you're notified of future episodes as well as my podcasts, and I will see you in episode 4.